What we're going to do first is open up the Web1 folder. We have all of our folders in. We're going to make a new folder for Storm. I'll select the images and index from this folder, make a new folder called Storm, and then paste. Command V or right click and paste. And I have my index page from Fantasy, and I'm just going to use that HTML to start my Storm website. Click on images and I have my Fantasy image in here. I don't want that Fantasy image anymore. I don't need that one. I can throw that one away. I have two new ones. I've got a Storm Drain. That's my kind of storm, right? And a gator in a storm drain. It's like to be funny. So if I click on this one, you'll see the alligator go in the drain, and this one is a storm drain. Now, I would probably rename these little shorter names so it would be easier to code. Storm drain.jpg no underscore. And then the gator one, I would just write it gator.jpg. Simple, easy, to the point. Let's take our index page, drag and drop it into our text wrangler, and this is where we can start wrangling up some code. A background color right now, we don't need anything. I'm just going to erase the hexadecimal number, and JPEG for the background, I'm going to get rid of that. In my title, I'm going to write Storm Drain. Now I might take my title, bring it down, and nest it inside of the header, or heading. It's not really a header, it's a heading title. And come down here to H1. All of these I'm going to be putting inside of my table tag. So I'm going to take, let me see, I'm just going to press enter or return a couple times, and I'm going to start new code up here. I'm going to make a table tag and close the table tag. Inside of the table, I'm going to have TRs. TR stands for table row. I need an open and closing table row, and I need a TD inside of that table row, which is a table data. And close the table data. Need to have table data in order to have table row. Now, for my formatting, I'm just going to do a little play here. There we go. I'm going to take that back a little bit. Each row needs a table row and a TD, a table data. Copy that, paste, paste. There we go. So now I have 3 rows. I'm going to open them up a little bit. I'm going to spread them out just a little bit so you guys can see what's going on. In this row, I'm going to say banner is going to be in that row. I'm going to have navigation in this row. I'm going to have the body content in this row. We're not going to do a footer. Okay, we'll do that for the next assignment. Let's save it. Command S. Let's come on back over here. I'm going to wait for my computer. I'm going to get my browser. I'm going to take the index and drag and drop it into the browser so I can see what my website looks like. You'll see the words banner, navigation, and body content on the top left. Right? We're going to put some more code in here in the table tag. We're going to say width equals, quotation marks, 600 pixels. I usually make websites around 980 pixels wide. That seems to be a good size width-wise for desktop, iPads, laptops. Not for mobile devices. I go a lot smaller. For mobile devices, I go about 380. So width is 600, and then I'll do border just to see the border. 1 pixel, save, Command S, refresh, and now you're going to see that the banner is 600 pixels wide, the navigation, the body content. Okay, so now in the navigation, I want to have 3 table datas, because I'm going to have 3 links. So this link is going to be home. This link is going to be what is a storm, and navigation, and that last one is going to be damages from a storm. Alright, and we're going to link them. Save it, and let's see what happened here. See my TDs? Okay. What happened here? Ooh, oh no, I've got to fix that, right? I've got to fix my first row and my second row. So I got to come back here to the TDs, and I have to write column span equals, and I have 3 columns, so I'm going to write 3. Save it and refresh. See, that goes all the way across now. So I'm going to copy that, paste it right here. Save and refresh. Okay, so that's column span going across the columns. If you want to do going down, those are table rows. Okay, now you can tell what each table data how wide to be too, but we're not going to get into that right now. All right, so now I need to get a banner in there. I need to get some buttons for home, what is a storm, damages from a storm, and the body content. I'm going to take this information here and put that in the body content here, because that's I want everything on the website inside of the table. So come into your HTML code and copy H1 down to the last P tag. Do a Command X or Control X to cut, and then we're going to paste it right here where it says the word body content. What I'm going to do is press Enter once, paste, Command V, and then press Enter again or return. So my last TD is right here, my last TR is here, and my closing table is right there. I have my body content at the end down here, and my closing HTML. Command S to save. Now all of this information just went into my TD. So it's going to come up right in here when I refresh. Look at that. It's all in here now. Okay, I want it all to be constricted inside the table. Now I want the table to center on the website. So I need to go back to the table, and either I can do it one of 2 ways. I can go right before the table, and I can do a center tag, which would probably be the easiest. Copy that, and then put it at the end underneath the table. Close it. And make sure you have the closing slash. Save it. Refresh. Let's see if it centers. It centered it. Yay! All right. So some of these things aren't working, like my Einstein and image. I got my bullet list. That's okay. We'll just keep that there for now. Let's come back up to the top up here, and where it says this is my first website, I'm going to write storm drains are great for cities. And Command S to save. Let's see. Storm drains are great for it. Great. So now we're going to put a banner in there, and we're going to put navigation.